Some of these betting slips are unbelievable because these are the 10 craziest football bets that won big money, blindsiding the bookies for millions in the process. Starting the countdown with a tiny 60p accumulator that won a whopping £157,000. Because on Saturday the 30th of April, one lucky punter stung the bookmaker Ladbrokes for a whopping 26 million % ROI bet on a 16-team accumulator, correctly predicting all of the results for the Premier League and Championship that day. Here's what their betting slip looked like. The total odds racked up at 263,109 to 1 with a 60p stake, meaning that the total returns were £157,865.59. But it wasn't plain sailing because at one stage it looked like the bet slip was actually a write-off until Wilfried Zaha scored a 92nd minute goal for Crystal Palace away to Southampton. But it wasn't the only crazy football bet that weekend, as the second bet on our list proves. Because when you've only got 42p left in your betting account, what do? Put it on a 15-leg football accumulator, of course. Which is how this list of winning selections burnt William Hill's fingers. Their selection criteria for these bets, I have absolutely no idea. Although once it come in, the 42p stake returned a whopping £13,340.30, making it a 3.17 million % return on investment for the lucky punter. The funny thing here though is that also this accumulator relied on that 92nd minute goal from Wilfried Zaha. Now it's good to see those bookies getting hurt, although not as good as when the next bet had Paddy Power's pants down in a big way. It happened when a 20-fold super coupon was placed with Paddy Power on Boxing Day, where an Irishman placed a €5 bet with Paddy Power that returned a total of €421,587.08, making it an 8.4 million % return on investment for the punter. The bet was on 20 relatively short price selections, with the biggest price being 6-5 on Macclesfield v Grimsby and also Palace v Southampton. Paddy Power said it's not often we see a 20-team accumulator coming in, and we can only congratulate the tribesman that has speared us, which makes a change from a company that's exceptionally greedy, consistently bans people for winning and also mocks the less fortunate among us. But the next bet took a little bit more risk, because a 10-fold accumulator on the weekend's championship fixtures in 2021 included a draw prediction for one of the most unlikely comeback stories of the year, when Cardiff drew 3-3 with Stoke. And although the bet was won inside the Bet365 stadium, Ladbrokes had to shell out on total odds of 21,875 to 1 for just a £1 stake, the winnings being £21,876.04, a massive 2.18 million % return on investment. Now I bet that they wish they'd staked a little bit more on that one. Unlike the next bet, because a 7-fold football accumulator won big this time, pumping William Hill in the process when they predicted the match result and the both teams to score outcomes on 7 different games in England, France, Italy and Sweden, all within one weekend. The return on investment a little bit lower this time at just under 2.8 million %, with total winnings of £28,000 on the nose, which is nothing in comparison to the next bet, when one lucky punter won enough to buy a house outright, or maybe 3 if you live up north, where they staked £20 on a 6-fold football accumulator, predicting the winner of 6 leagues in England and Scotland. It was a nail-biting finish, with the final leg coming in at a massive price of 12 to 1. The total odds on this accumulator was 15,444 to 1. Here's their selections, we'll show you on the screen now. Now it's worth noting in this instance that they benefited from some nice odds earlier on, because they placed all of these bets before the season had even started, with total winnings of £308,880. The return on investment on the bet was a little bit lower at 1.5 million. As one of the dirtiest bookmakers out there, it's great to see William Hill getting unloaded. It makes you wonder, did they put him through affordability checks for the £20 stake after he'd won? Now next up, Betfair took one in the back of the net when one lucky punter staked £50 on an accumulator with 23 different legs, placed purely on first half goals, landing a total return of of £35,404.29. They staked £50 on these selections at extremely short prices, and it didn't look like it was going to come in until Will Collar's stoppage time goal for Stockport County landed. Can you imagine how that last minute turnaround felt? A cracking result, although I'm not sure that I would have staked £50 on such a bet. But bet number 3 sounds far more reasonable when you consider that someone predicted the scores on 4 matches on the same day. If you remember Spurs' 3 late goals on the 1st of November, it was a nightmare for William Hill, where one customer won £30,556.25 from a £1.50 stake. The original odds were 20,376 to 1, although the bet boost increased the payout around about £5,000. Now we're getting close to the big one here, but the second from last bet was on 8 draws across the EFL on one weekend in September, the total stake being just £2. Again, a 94th minute goal for Portsmouth had the winner on the edge of their seat, eventually going in with Ladbrokes bet boost included. The total winnings were £29,828.61, a return on investment of just shy of 1.5 million%. But all of these winners are nothing when compared to the final bet, which was an absolute monster, because this £43 bet that was placed is a little bit more complicated. You see, there were 4 separate accumulators placed together with a total of up to 23 legs, including the same and similar selections across those different accumulators. The total stake of £43 was broken down into £13, £13, £12 and £5, and the £5 bet was actually cashed out for £88,000 profit in play. Although if they hadn't, they'd have had over £40,000 extra in their bank account. As we know, cash out with bookmakers is always a stinking offer. Here's a list of the winning predictions that were on the accumulator shared on the screen. Now, there were some long range goals that went in there, and also a 92nd minute goal from Gomez that managed to save it. But going back to the bet slip for a second, the other 3 landed with a total return on investment coming in at 1.2 billion%. A truly disastrous day for Ladbrokes, and I'm glad it happened to them, where they had to pay out total winnings of £520,632, making it almost as crazy as these 5 bets shared in the end screen. Check them out. I'll see you next time.